open the window for characters of other races.
But to save face. Yeah, you seen Little Mermaid? I think I just saw
The
that
original?
Right. Yeah, like the cartoon.
I loved it. Yeah, I loved the cartoon.
You loved it? Okay.
I did. I don't care. I love that cartoon.
This is the Rawcast.
Sebastian
We keep it raw.
Sebastian
No
was a
Abby's,
G.
no L's. He telling the truth. Yeah.
Hey, kiss my ass, bro. Disney was real back then, man.
You are experiencing the CO2 Carbon Ops podcast. Let's begin.
And you ain't said it no better. That's right. This is what we do. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. You are now listening to the CO2 Carbon Ops Rodcast. Rodcast is Rawcast. Why would I say Rodcast? This is the Dennis Rodman cast. Dennis Rodman's podcast. That's what you're listening to. That also seems to be featured with your boy Diggy Jones.
And your boy, the magnificent Reese L. Black.
Good evening, Mr. Black.
Yes. Episode 2, man. We are starting to build a little bit of a stack here, getting some momentum going.
Oh, yeah, consistency.
Yeah. And speaking of consistency, I consistently love to check out circuses. I love circuses. I love when things happen with lots of like jungle music and like trampolines and people like flipping around and clowns and I mean, what else is at a circus? You get some popcorn, man. I used to love like the taffy and the popcorn that they would serve at the circus, and it just felt like it was the place to be when I was a kid. I'm not a kid anymore. Are you a kid anymore, Reese?
I haven't been in like 30 years.
But yet the circus seems to keep following us because this whole circus around Trump and Biden has just been getting better and better. It's like Ringling Brothers over here. Like we just keep seeing all kinds of special events and weird people popping up through this showcase. So what's going on? Why is it that in an election that's supposed to be, and by the way, by the time you guys probably listen to this podcast, you'll know who won the election, and we are still trying to figure it out. But my point is, what's going on? Why is it that we have to choose between two of the circus clowns, to be honest with you? I just feel like maybe, is there a good choice?
Yeah, who do you want, Freddie or Jason?
Yeah, like it feels as though we're being forced to decide whether to get shot in the face or shot in the heart. How about I just don't want to get shot? How about I can just go to a real circus and enjoy myself?
Yeah, so it's either like vote for one where things won't be too bad, or vote for one where things won't be so bad.
Yeah, like devastatingly
vote
bad.
for the races or the least racist.
Yeah. I mean, well, like Trump to me is like bona fide, purebred racist. Biden is like low key, like I could be racist one day, and then you can come to my barbecue the next day.
Yeah, but I brought you a Jamaican Indian lady.
Oh.
And called her black and be like, yo, this is your VP, this is your reparations, and you ain't black if you don't vote for us.
Yeah, I feel like Kamala Harris is like, see, I told y'all I'm not racist. Look at who's sitting next to me. She's
it's funny because she was dogging Biden way back when. What? She was like,
hey, I guess you do whatever you got to do to make it.
I just thought about that. Like, wait, wasn't you clowning Biden like way back in the day?
We got to get in where we can fit in. At this point, I guess she's just making do. I think Kamala Harris is a strong black woman, and I think she's very intelligent. And if it came down to it, and she was the president of the United States, she'd probably do a good job. But I also feel as though we may never see that, right? Because no matter what happens, we already know one of these two candidates will be taking the lead for the next 4 years, or at least to start the next 4 years. And I don't feel secure about either one of them.
No, neither do I. But I would not be surprised if Trump gets another foe. I would not. Because just for the simple fact of that debate, okay, you got it. Okay, as much as people don't like Trump is hands down got to be the most straightforward, most honest man. It's like, as a politician, ain't there a point where you are supposed to lie? And I know he's done some lying, but he was just way too honest in this damn debate. Like this, like for one, when he went for the jug and just straight up said like, "Yo, who built the cages. I was like, oh, that's like, nobody, I don't think we were supposed to even know that. Like Trump, I don't think he was supposed to as a politician, you wasn't supposed to let that out the bag. But then again, he's not a politician.
Right.
He's not.
But then at the same breath, he can talk about how he is the single greatest thing that happened to black people since Abraham Lincoln. Apparently,
well, like, shit, I'm the greatest thing since black people since Abe Lincoln. We want to put it like that.
I mean, gosh, that's a high bar. Right there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like, yo,
geez, forget MLK, forget all these other people. Like, come on, man.
Harriet,
like, it's Lincoln and Trump and all the rest of y'all. That's
but
basically
I really
what he's saying.
would have to agree with him. He didn't put a law in place to protect anything out of the ordinary when it came to killing black people. Like, it's like Obama, he gave us the blue alert law. So you can't harm a cop like anybody was really planning on doing that anyway. But Trump has never put a law in place where it said you can't touch this person or that person. You know what I mean? If it's anything, Trump is kind of down with us. You know, I don't want to say us like I'm part of a group or anything. He's okay with retaliation. You know what I mean? It's just if you're black and retaliate, it's like, what the hell? But honestly, to tell you the truth, I thought it was going to be shaky and just downright bad when Lady wanted to discuss race. But, you know, just like, you know, some white folks do, they deflected. Because I'm like, did either one of them even answer the question? Like, the question was, what would you tell a black person, if they fear for their life? Biden was talking about who he kicked it with, what church he went to. And I was just lost. I'm like, okay, first of all, I think the best answer would have been, I don't know what it's like to be black, so I can't answer that.
Yeah, but that's your best answer. Their best answer was what they did, bounce around, right? Because if you're racist, how do you answer that question other than bouncing around it? Because you either do that, you do what they did, or you say, you know what, I don't know how to answer that because I hate black people. But how are you doing today? Like, you can't,
what's good,
you
y'all?
can't answer that question. And she knew that. She knew like that was going to be a question that they're going to either have to dodge around or it's going to be news of the week, right? So they chose to dodge around it. I don't blame them for doing that. What I do blame them for is wasting our time. Although I will say this was probably, well, definitely a better debate than the first one. The first one was a debacle. This one, at least they touched some topics and Trump was trying to hold in the Kraken as long as he could. You could tell for the first 20 minutes, he's like, you know, like the scene on The Nutty Professor when like he's trying to not turn from Eddie to, you know what I mean? And like his butt, his like belly just started to pop out.
Like not trying to turn back in the clump again. Like,
don't want to
be Sherman. Trying to be Buddy as long as I can.
Yeah, Buddy, exactly. He was holding on for dear life. That's what I felt like. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like these guys, no matter which way we go, we're definitely going to have to hold them accountable. Everybody needs to vote, which I hope you guys did. Yeah, like this is what happens when people don't like invest in, you know, their country. They don't invest in the time to make sure that these people are placed in the right positions.
Yo, in real talk, lay off a Cube, okay? Ice Cube had a plan. The demos didn't really want to hear it. It's like, after the election, we can talk. But hey, Trump and the Republicans were just like, oh, let's see what you got. So in a way, the Republicans and, you know, they're kind of playing devil now. You know what I mean? Because even the good book talks about your savior may not be your savior. Right. I mean, just think about it. If Trump really wanted to get the black vote, he could just be like, okay, reparations for everybody. I'm going to, you know, do this and do that, yada, yada. And, you know, I'll continue unemployment and all that. They could easily just do that. But he's kind of right. Since the Democrats have kind of been running things, it's like, y'all really haven't, I can't even say really haven't. Y'all haven't done nothing.
Well, I will say that
Trump is telling you guys that.
You probably can't go back on all of the things you've done to lose black people's respect by, you know, bribing us with reparations or stimulus packages and stuff like that, which is an obvious attempt to do that. But to your point, like, come on, man, I really think the whole, you know, Ice Cube thing got blown out of proportion. I get his point.
He was being diplomatic.
Right. It doesn't, like, because one of these two are going to be our next president, regardless, right? So what happens if Trump does win? If Biden, this whole Biden thing doesn't happen and Trump does win, he is our president. We're gonna have to deal with him.
Yeah, we're used to it right now. We've been here for 4 years. Like, what's another 4 more?
Exactly. So you got to think ahead. So I think Ice Cube is just thinking ahead. He's trying to prepare for any scenario to make sure that black people are in a better position than they were. So instead of like stoning him, why don't you do something?
Yeah, and know what Cube did?
Yeah,
Cube. Nobody else came forth in the beginning. And funny thing is, Bob Johnson, he actually did something earlier this year too, or was it last year, where he had like a reparations plan too. Okay. Either or is being spoken about. You know, I mean, reparations probably ain't gonna happen. I mean, that's wishful thinking. But it's the fact that it's a step. Now the thing is, Johnny Cochran, way back when he was alive, he was preparing to get reparations for the people of Tulsa from the bombing of 1921. Wow. Yeah, he was getting that, and next thing you know, he dies. You know, but yeah, it was the fact that, you know, he made a step forward. Like, you know what? I got Geronimo Pratt out of prison. You know, he's done so much. You know what? I'm about to get reparations for the descendants of the Tulsa victims.
Nice.
The Black Wall Street. And then, you know, he dies from the aneurysm, you know. But it's about putting your foot forward and moving on to something, you know?
Right. I don't think that there's really anything we can do to make up for how many years of oppression and just, you know, putting us down that, you know, has happened, you know, on this land. So
they did it for the Native Americans, so.
Right, exactly.
That's only that sucks.
And plus, like I said,
we were here first.
We got to get in line because you did it to them first. So I think the idea of reparations is just a fantasy to begin with. But
for us,
what we can do is we can put policies in place to make sure that everyone has a fair chance of making something of themselves in this country. And right now, like, the balance is still not equal. And you're seeing evidence of that every day. Like, you know how hard it is for somebody of, you know, well, basically anybody who's not white. You know how hard it is for them to be in a true position of power? You know, like, think about all of the companies that you know, interact with on your daily life. Apple, you think about Facebook, you think about all these big companies. And we've made strides to where we've been in bigger positions, and maybe, you know, we're the owner of some division or whatever. But at the top of every company is a white man. And that, until that changes, until we can get to the top of these companies, because we feel like we are, you know, like what we're doing right now, we're doing an independent company, right? We're doing our podcast, doing our YouTube channel.
Independent media.
That's great and all. But at the end of the day, at our best, say we get millions of fans, right? We're still under YouTube. We're still under Buzzsprout. We're still under all of these capitals
that
are
not
not
under BET.
Right. And they're not run by us.
Man, BET not even under nobody black no more. That's right. Viacom is like,
Right. So until we get to a point where we can establish our own, not only networks, but our own cable companies. Till we can establish our own
make our own
companies
shoes
that don't go any higher than us. Like, the balance is not there.
Basically coming together and try to enterprise and stop trying to be the H and I C.
Right.
You know, that's where we lack. And then let's just keep it real. I'm not trying to say that we lazy, but a lot of us don't want to work. Like a lot of us want that quick money, especially now we're in a what they call the microwave society. Everybody wants everything so damn fast and don't want to bust their ass anymore. You know what I mean? People want to try to make that quick buck, you know, just like, you know, OnlyFans is the quick buck now. Don't nobody want to grind because it's hard. It sucks. It's tough. So people either want to hit a jump shot, score a touchdown, or come out with an album. I mean, basically entertain. And, you know, do you. You can do that to each his own. But the thing is, if you want to be successful in the long run, you know, making sure that your kids is straight, you know, we're talking about that generational wealth. That's where we want to get to, you know, inheriting. Like, not too many black folks inherit anything from the families anymore. So yeah, you kind of got to bust your ass and grind. And guess what? You ain't going to be able to get wealthy or rich by working for somebody else.
No.
So yeah, entrepreneurship is, a big step. But yeah, it sucks because it's a hard grind. But that's when you just learn more. Network.
Well, and just so people understand, like, there's more than 2 or 3 ways to become, successful. Like you don't have to just play basketball or do music or whatever.
You got to do it by yourself.
Like there's a lot more respectable. If you're at the top of your game in whatever it is you're doing, that's respect to me.
Yeah.
Right. Like so. I mean, I respect somebody who can become successful as a chemist, or a whatever.
George Washington Carver.
Right, exactly.
Marion Barry was. Matter of fact, his background, he got his degree was in biology or something like that before he became mayor of DC. Yeah, he wasn't no politician like that.
So there you go. Yeah. Like do you, but just remember, like it's gonna be hard work no matter what you do. There are no shortcuts. Even in this genre, if you're doing music or entertainment, there's no shortcuts, man. Like you gotta put in the work just like everybody else.
It's still a grind.
Yes.
No matter what. And I know some of y'all want the rocks, the ice, and the cash, but yeah, those are advances that they throwing around.
Right.
That's the signing bonus.
Right.
That ain't what they just grab like right then and there off of. Yeah, because I don't even know if there's even royalties anymore. Even the game said it best. People ain't making money off of music like that anymore. Records ain't selling like that anymore unless you're Taylor Swift.
It's pretty much touring and like
endorsements.
Right.
Touring number one. Hell, even nightclub walkthroughs. Cats is getting like 15 G's to show up and hold a bottle.
That's crazy.
And they coming in at 1:45 in the morning. Oh, damn well the club closed at 3. Wow. I've seen it, but hey, anyways.
All right, that was deep, man. What's going on, man? What's going on in social media and all of that stuff?
Okay, I know you really don't care, but
I really don't. But it's my segue into stuff I really don't care about.
But now we have we want to discuss, possible race bending in Hollywood. Not that I don't have any complaint. Black people working, that's good. Latino working, Latinos and Asians working, they working, that's good. Mm-hmm. But my man Aldis, I hope I'm saying this right now, Aldis Hodge, he's now playing Hawkman in the DC movie for Black Adam, with The Rock. But interestingly, anybody knows DC Comics Hawkman is white. Ain't no black man, ain't no Hawkman. You know what I mean? We got Falcon. That's as black as we got was Falcon, But Hawkman was white in the comic.
Okay.
And the thing is, a lot of black actors catching social media hell, for playing these white fictional characters. Lawrence Fishburne, he caught smoke for just being Perry White in Superman.
Oh my God.
And Man of Steel and Idris.
Yeah.
He was Heimdall in Thor.
When at one point when they were doing the Miles Morales Spider-Man and they were talking about what is it? Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
Maybe playing that role and social media just went bananas. How dare they? Why? Why is this a problem that somebody who is not the right race in a comic book can't play the role in a movie?
Well, it's touchy. On the comic book end, you go to Comic-Con, these iconic fictional heroes are worshipped by non-black individuals. These are their heroes.
Sure.
They don't have real heroes. There's no real Harriet, no real Martin, Malcolm. There's really no real hero that came and like released them from oppression.
Sure.
You know what I mean? There's no white Nat Turner on thing. Right. So when you end up fictionalizing a hero, you know what I mean? This is what they look up to. We looked up to people who led rebellions and, where freedom and emancipation took place. You know what I mean? It was like, wow, Martin Luther King, thank you for busting your ass and talking to these people about, the Civil Rights Act, and then, you got shot. It sucks, but look where we are today. You know what I mean? But on the comic book side, even down at Comic-Con, people who do the, what do you call it when you dress up at them? What's it called? Cosplay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been some people who've been going on the gram and Snapchat who were telling their story about how they pretty much got mad smoke just for dressing up somebody ain't black. Now, there's only a handful of black comic book fictional characters.
Basically, yeah, exactly.
Like, if I could tell you, name 3, what are you going to say? Falcon, Black Panther, and who? Black Lightning? That's it. And they're not even iconic. Maybe Black Panther, but we're talking about who's the Superman of black superheroes.
Okay, but that's what I heard. All right, like when people got up in arms about certain people playing certain roles.
Yeah, you can't be Goku black.
That I heard was, well, what would you do if they had Brad Pitt playing Black Panther? You would be upset about that. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, first of all, Black Panther is in the name. Okay, so That's just you can't change Black Panther and make him something else. Yeah. But let's just say you're right? Like you should be able to experiment, do some things or whatever, and get creative. The people who wrote these stories have every right to switch it up. But my thing is representation is so scarce when it comes to minorities in like comic books that sometimes these roles are more precious, to be honest, to people. So whereas a lot of white people grew up and pretty much they could pick any character they wanted to, associate with. We had only a few of them. And basically, most of the time they were overlooked when it came to putting them to the big screen.
Sidekicks, damn near.
Right. Outside of what? Blade. Blade was the first experience that we had.
Reason for Marvel. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That we had a character that we could look up to. So it's different in that regard. We don't have as many options as you do to be able to look forward to. But even I think you would even be okay with switching up some things if it made sense to the story. Now, what I have a problem with, because this has been happening in Hollywood for, decades upon decades. Remember the Ten Commandments? Ten Commandments, first of all, Egyptians were basically black people.
Yeah, Egypt is in Africa.
Yeah, nobody told Charlton Heston. Basically, they told him, go ahead and get in the tanning booth for 10 minutes and let's shoot this.
Like just as long as I get my check.
Right, exactly. Half of the cast of the Ten Commandments were white. So this has been happening for a long time on the other foot. So in my mind, I feel like it's only fair game if we're really talking about making things balanced to kind of have to experiment with roles that have been so popular. Because let's be real, like you can't just sprout a new black character and watch it take off. Yeah. Right? Like Superman has fans that have been Superman fans
since the 50s.
Yes, exactly. Decades. Batman, all these like iconic characters have had a head start for a long time. So for you to just say, oh, well, why can't you just create a black character? Like, come on, man. That shit takes time to like really like base a character that people want to love and follow. So you got to experiment sometimes. That's why you're seeing an Asian Hulk and, stuff like that. Female
there's an
characters. Oh, yeah, there's an Asian Hulk.
Wow,
the new, what is it? The new Marvel? Hulk is Asian. Thor is a woman.
Okay, I know that one.
Yeah, it's stuff like
Hulk
that.
Hulk is Asian?
Yeah.
Okay,
which is dope.
Okay. To give that one credit, anybody could be the Hulk because it was a gamma accident, right?
Yeah.
It was a gamma radiation accident. That could happen to any one of us.
Right.
You know what I mean? But Black Panther is like, okay, not only somebody black or African descent can play this individual because Wakanda isn't a fictional Africa.
Right.
So it's like you have to make them black. And then going back to that Brad Pitt. Okay, what the hell was Brad Pitt want to play Black Panther for anyway? Something like that. He gonna turn that down. Like, do you know that is just bad press?
Right.
He gonna slap the shit out of his agent. Like, are you trying to get me killed?
No, of course. He would never want that problem.
Yeah.
That's the fans trying to push that.
That's what I'm saying.
That's my point is like, come on, let's just be reasonable. Like everything is not always apples to apples, right? And so, and like even the actors and actresses know that too. They know the roles that are meant for them and the roles that they would be crazy to
Michael
pick
B.
up.
Jordan, he got smoked for Johnny Storm and that fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, same thing.
So I get it. Like there are some certain things that like people just hold dear to. And I'm not saying we need to take on every role, like just turn everything black. All that would be dope.
Yeah, like the new Little Mermaid, old girl from Grownish.
Oh,
she's the YouTuber, like her and her sister or her friend, I don't know. They sing.
Okay.
And now she's Ariel in the brand new Little Mermaid movie, the live action one coming out. So it's just like, okay, did we need a black Ariel?
Okay, but that has to happen in order for us to open the window for characters of other races.
But to say face. Yeah, you seen Little Mermaid? I think I just saw
the
that
original.
Right. Yeah, like the cartoon.
I love the cartoon.
You loved it? Okay.
I did. I don't care. I love that cartoon.
This is the Rawcast. We keep it raw.
Sebastian
no Abby's, no L's. He telling the truth. Yeah.
Hey, kiss my ass, bro. Disney was real back then, man.
Now, is it Caribbean? Is it Caribbean based?
Oh, that I don't know.
Because Under the Sea sound very, very Caribbean-like. That's why I'm like, okay, so a black Ariel would make sense if this was somewhat Caribbean. Because that crab singing Under the Sea, I'm like, that's... Yeah, so maybe this was actually right.
Could be. Yeah.
You know, because
I get the spin.
So it's like if this is what ocean is that? Is that Atlantic? Is that where's the Caribbean? Is that Atlantic Ocean?
We're going too far now. I'm not
Mediterranean?
sure. I focus on the animation
before we sound stupid and uneducated. So we gonna stop where we are.
I focus on the design.
This nigga said Atlantic. Let me go. Caribbean shit. Okay, the Caribbean.
Let me go Google this really quick. I have no idea.
But you know, is it answer the question, is it a no-no race bending? You know, it's to me, or in my opinion, it's not a no-no. You know, this is Hollywood. Hollywood is about creating stories.
Right.
You know, creating work for these actors. This is about acting.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the thing is, race bending is not black facing. And I think that's what where everybody is trying to compare and contrast.
Right.
You know, like Robert Downey, he got a little hell. Tropic Thunder,
right?
Because he,
which to be honest, I thought that was funny as hell. It was funny as hell.
Call me a coon, whatever. Robert Downey, you played the hell out of that brother.
I thought that was funny, bro.
What do you mean, you people?
Right.
It was funny,
but you know what? It was funny because of how ridiculous it was.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't, and that's okay. So that's one point I want to say. There's a difference between black facing and caricaturing, right? And I feel like that was an example of them trying to address the issue, address the elephant in the room in a sarcastic and funny way. It was meant to parody how ridiculous people are.
Shout out to Ben Stiller. Yeah.
Right, who think that they can do that and get away with it. It was actually meant to, better the situation versus some people who do it in mean spirits. And that's really the thing we're talking about is what is your intent? So if you're making a movie and you decide, you know what, I think Wonder Woman should be, Indian this time. What is your intent behind that? Is the intent behind it to grow the culture, or is your intent behind it to caricature or make fun of somebody or, disrespect the culture? Right. And that's where the divide is. So you guys who get on, Hollywood for making these decisions, you need to ask yourself that first before you go all up in arms. Are they doing it in a way that's, helping things, or are they doing it in a way that's disrespectful?
Are they diversifying?
Exactly.
Or is it just like you said, are we just poking fun at it?
Right.
And if they did have like a Middle Eastern Wonder Woman or something, last time I checked, when I saw the Wonder Woman movie, I saw a black Amazonian.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just like, so you mean to tell me Wonder Woman couldn't be black? You know what I mean?
Why not?
Yeah. And honestly, Wonder Woman sounds more like a title anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whereas it's like, here, you're now Wonder Woman. You know what I mean?
And hold this too. Like, I thought the whole point of superheroes were so we could see ourselves in them. Right? Yeah. I thought they were supposed to be heroes because we are supposed to be holding them to a standard that we want to achieve. Well, how can we do that if we can't diversify them? Everybody can't see themselves in the same color, right? Like, you need to give represent everybody, as equally as you can. And that gives people a chance for them to really be able, a 5-year-old to be able to look up to somebody and be like, you know what, that's who I relate to. That's who I surround myself with and I see every day. Yep. And that's who I want to be.
Yeah. And on our end as black folks, let's keep it real. Our superheroes are Jordan, Jerry Rice, pastor from the church, you know what I mean? Some cop that grew up from the streets and actually walks the beat with us and, he hollers at us and games us up about the law. You know what I mean? A Medgar Evers here and there. Like, our heroes liberated our minds and gamed us up on society and how to condone ourselves so we won't get hurt and to come together as a community and build. Those are our true heroes. Matter of fact, shout out to Michael Bennett, because in his book, things that make white people uncomfortable, he actually mentioned that in the beginning of the book too. Like, we did not all the black kids read Spider-Man, Superman, and all of that. You know what I mean? It's like the heroes we saw were in front of us. Dad, mom, older brother, uncle. Yeah, there was even a time where pimps, hell, out here in the Bay Area, the Black Panther Party was heroic to us. Right. You know what I mean? So it's like, when we end up seeing these people, they're tangible. We can touch them. Right. We can still go talk to Bobby Seale, and everybody else, Huey Newton, he passed, you know what I mean? But it's like, we can still talk to these individuals that like give you information to survive instead of flipping pages and just waiting for a Superman to save Lois. We just couldn't get down like that. I mean, we're entertained by that. We'll go see the movie. Like, everybody knows we about to go see the new Marvel stuff when it come out too. We about to jump on that Doctor Strange Part 2 and all.
I can't wait.
Yeah, but real talk. we came front. We shut down Netflix when Luke Cage dropped. When Luke Cage dropped, I was like, all right.
In that crap. I'm sorry. No, God. I watched the first couple episodes and I was like, all right, this is cool.
You didn't watch the whole thing? The whole season?
I just lost interest.
You gotta fight. Sometimes, bro, you gotta start treating shit like a rite of passage. You just can't be like, can't do it no more, and just cancel.
Look, you gotta window this quick with me.
I mean, damn.
Before I'm on to the next one, son. I got a catalog, a backlog and stuff. There's other shows I gotta catch up on, man. I'm seasons behind on stuff, bro.
This dude will watch the hell out of Handmaid's Tale.
Hey, they caught me. Hey, check out Handmaid's Tale, boy. That is some stuff. They caught me.
You know, I haven't jumped on that, but I did watch Castle Rock. And yeah, Castle Rock.
Oh my God,
Castle Rock was good.
Yeah, we can have a whole segment. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna cut this off because we can have a whole segment about Castle Rock. We're gonna take a quick break. Stay tuned and thank you for listening and watching. We'll see you in a bit. And we are back. Thank you, everybody, for listening in and keeping with us. Again, this is the CO2 Carbon Ops Rawcast. Right now, we're going into our segment of the evening that we all love. This is the fixings. Hey, listen. Cooking in the kitchen. This the grits and fixings. How I sit the mixing. That's right. This is the fixings. So let's talk about it, man. What's been going on that we want to address today? Oh gosh! So when he starts doing the evil laugh, you know you're in for something.
Well, this shook the net right here.
Wow.
So we are going to have us a good old fashioned talk about marriage submission. So,
wow.
As you know, Jeannie Mai had made a statement on the
Jeannie
Real.
Mai from the Real?
And Jeannie Mai from the Real.
Yeah.
Jeannie from
Shout
the Real.
Shout out to Jeezy.
Yeah, she said that they, congratulations, they got engaged.
Yes.
You know, so Jeannie made a statement that I, Jeannie Mai, am telling you that I am going to submit to my husband.
Wow. Real one. Real one.
Yeah, and her co-host was just like, really? Like, that's not part of the playbook. Oh, really?
let me guess. That was, what's her name?
Lonnie Love and Garcelle Bouvier. She was on there. And Adriana, the chick from 3LW from back, the one that's married to Israel Houghton. You know, the gospel guy. Now, what's interesting about this is that Jeannie, she was ready for this. She done actually came in and she broke down the definition of submission.
and actually, I was just going to say, why don't we do that for the fans? In case y'all don't understand what this topic's about. Yeah. This is more of a biblical topic. So what are we talking about?
Yeah, so in a biblical sense, you know, submission really means to, you know, to yield or to even like wait on. Now, it's not to be compared to what dominant, and that's the thing. This is what made that segment so good, because submission is such a dirty word. It's a dirty word, and the thing is, I'm trying to figure out who made the word dirty, because we submit in every day of our lives, you know. But she was making the point as I'm submitting to my husband so he can lead. Like, I don't want to lead anymore. She was even making the point. I mean, because I think she's pushing 40, or she's already in her 40s. Actually, I think she's already in her 40s, right? She was making the point that she's been independent and she's fatigued from it. You know, she's been her own publicist, her own agent, doing all this other stuff, you know, basically in her professional career. So now she's like, yo, I'm tired.
So basically, Jeannie Mai is a baller. She's successful. Jeezy is successful as well. And what she's pretty much saying is, yo, we're together. We're family. You're the man. Like, I'm going to fall back. I'm going to support you. I'm going to be there, and like, I'm going to take care of you and be by your side. You can lead the family is basically what she said.
Yeah, like, she's right? Yeah, she mentioned that. I'm not saying that, you know, he's going to make all the decisions, like you call the shots and I don't have an opinion. No, she made that very clear. She was just saying, yo, you know what? Look at these walls. I think they should be painted. G's like, you know what? I did green. You know what? I kind of like gray. Jeezy, well, I'm the man. I said green. Nah, that ain't happening. Nah, the point that she make, they're gonna come to a compromise. Like green, gray, nah. What else? Yellow. Okay, I can do yellow. Bam, what's done? They have an agreement. But it doesn't mean that, he was necessarily dominant in that aspect. They just compromised on a decision, for a wall with the paint.
All right, I gotta say my piece on this one, because this is what frustrates me about people trying to spin a concept that is supposed to be a positive and pure concept, and turning it into a negative thing that has to do with egos and position and power and all that stuff. I already know why women were upset with Jeannie Mai making that stance.
Me too.
Because there are people out there who think submission means, oh, I got to do everything my man say. He the one in charge and I can't do nothing. And to those people, I say, you have not been reading your Bible probably, or you don't know what the concept of this is. First of all,
and that's only if you're Christian. I'm just saying, non-Christian people,
Christian or not, like this really
like,
isn't
about
even
marriage.
Yeah, to me, this ain't even a religious topic, but it's
common sense.
It's spurred from the Bible.
Right.
So if we're going there, people always talk about that section of it where it says, wives, submit to your husbands, but they don't finish where it talks about husbands, love your wives. So what does that mean, right? Like if I love my wife and she's submitting to me as a man, basically she's saying to me like, we're equals, but I know that you are the man and I'm here to support you. If I love my wife, why would I be like, oh yeah, that's right, you do what I say because I'm the man. Hooga.
Half the time we don't even want to do that.
Of course not, bro. Like,
we don't want to talk to you.
I think the whole point was saying men and women are equal, but we also have differences, right? So the things that are men's strengths and the things that are women's strengths need to be balanced. And that's why I think that verse is misconstrued, because really all it's saying is balance. Wife, do your role. Man, do your role. And then you can do this together, come up together. If I don't love my wife, right, then I would do some crap like telling her what to do and bossing her around and all that. But if I love her, then she's the queen in my relationship. So while she's supporting me and submitting to me, I'm also lifting her up as the queen. Like she's the one that's a position of power submission. That's not a position of like being weak. So get your facts straight, folks. If you're going to get mad at something, get mad at yourself for not really understanding the position. I think that's the difference.
Yeah. And let's keep it real in this aspect. Number one, they were just mad because Jeannie came out and said that she was going to submit to a black man. That's number one. Let's just get that out of the way. That was the obvious choice. Because Loney and Garcelle, they don't date brothers. They don't. So let's just get that out of the way. So that was one, area where it was quite obvious. And then second, Loney and them and everybody, they probably did everything on their own. So to get out there and fight and then come home and talk about making a meal and doing all that prep, and they're not feeling that because they probably got like a cooks in their own house, whatever they make food for them, or they just do takeout. Now, the issue was talking about roles. Even me and my wife talked about this because she was talking about like, I hope you're not one of those guys that think that a woman's place is in the kitchen. And it's like, where'd you get that shit from? A woman must have said that. I do not know too. Okay, for one, let's talk about the kitchen for a second. If I made you a plate of spaghetti and my wife made you a plate of spaghetti, whose do you want to try first?
To be real, I'm not touching your food, bro. I'm probably going with. Knowing Bree, I think she probably could do it right. Yeah. But some people, I'm not touching none of their food. I'm going to McDonald's.
That's the point that I'm making is like, yo, you're better than me in the kitchen. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not saying this is your place, but right at this moment, you can cook me under the damn table at this point. You can make shit better than I could. And when did it become a problem when like somebody, like why is being the person who cooks stuff a role that is an issue all of a sudden? Like I just don't get where I sort of get it. I know that the feminist movement is upset. They blew it
because people are trying to box people into roles. And I get what they're saying. They're saying I can do more than just this. Yeah. Like, don't try to put me in a box where all I got to do is be in the kitchen and all that stuff. I get that. But what I'm saying is, by doing that, in some ways, it's kind of mixed up the game where people have gotten confused and thinking that anytime somebody does something that is that role, that now that they're like whipped or they're in some box and they don't got their priorities right.
Yeah.
Jeannie, I think she's got her priorities perfect.
Thank you.
Because she's choosing that role.
Yeah.
Jeezy is not telling her submit to me. She's choosing to do that. That's her prerogative. So just like it's your prerogative to be whatever you want to be and be like, no, I run my house and all that stuff. Okay. If you can find a man that's going to take that, like, more power to you. But that's your decision, right? So don't get on her for making a decision to be the opposite.
No, let's go the other way now. People might ask, okay, well, he has to earn my submission. So what is he doing to where I have to submit to him? It's like, okay, I'm going to tell y'all this right now. If I get my up every day and I go to work,
right?
You know what I mean? Because guess what? Before anybody had a family move into their crib or got a crib on their own, together, whatever, you notice that your PG&E bill, your water bill was low. And now you guys have a family, it's high. And now you're paying for it. So now you're working overtime. You got car notes, car insurance, homeowner insurance, whatever the case may be. The moment you get up to go to work and the moment you also create a side hustle, that man freaking loves you.
Right. So, and let's remember, like, who are we talking about? We're talking about Jeezy, all right, who's already a established and successful person, a businessman. Forget that he's a rapper. Yeah. Like, he's a businessman and a successful one at that. And Jeannie Mai, who's equally successful and maybe probably more successful in a lot of regards. They're choosing these roles, people. So don't act like this is something that, like, okay, if you're talking about some dude in a corner that has no job, has no nothing to themselves, and they say, oh, okay, do this for me because I'm the man, then I get your point. But we're not talking about that. So, let's take everything with a grain of salt and understand the roles that we're talking and the people that we're talking about.
No, let's go ahead and get down and dirty. Let's talk about the role of the husband real fast. In my opinion, to provide, to protect, to teach. You're that mentor. You know what I mean? Yes, you are that leader. And that's just the husband part. Now, as for the wife, me personally, it's like, you're the greatest nurturer. You're the gatekeeper of the home. You don't let nothing bad in. You don't let anything good out. You know what I mean? And on top of that, you're the emotional establishment. If I'm unhappy, the house falls. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying like the wife has to make me happy. The point that I'm making is like, if I'm stressed out, the house can fail. You know what I mean? It's like if I have if my company is about to go bankrupt, let's just say like I'm a board member or something. Wishful think I'm a board member. And the thing is, I'm stressed out. A merger didn't go through. We about to fall. And I come home and I grab the bottle of Jack and I go to the office. That's a problem. So what does wife have to do? You come in, babe, you all right? What's wrong? I tell you what's wrong. You don't have to come up with a solution. But if you just listen, you know what? This is what we usually do. No, babe, this is what happened. X, Y, Z, yada, 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 yada. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I got it. I'll be all right. I got to make a phone call. Boom. You're the good ear. That's why a lot of wives be like, well, glad I can help. That's why they make their little joke. That's it. And there's a lot of emotionally unavailable wives, women in relationships. And y'all wonder why these dudes go crazy, why dudes really don't want to be in relationships anymore. And that is why, you know what I mean? But that's just in my opinion. And I know people want to say like happy wife, happy life. Well, guess what? If it goes the other way, happy wife, it'll be a crappy life. Because if wife is happy and not miserable, wife is going to be miserable too. Women love doing stuff for their man. You guys get off on that.
Well, I get where this disconnect comes from. It comes from years of women not being respected, not having positions of power, being told, to get in the kitchen. And so the movement is, well, we can do what you can do. And some people say, well, we can do it better. I get that attitude because the balance has been so inconsistent that you gotta push that.
That's competing, right, though. You know what I mean?
But at the same token, if we're not balanced, you're not gonna have success. And to me, I see beauty in the differences between men and women, right? And I think it's all right to say, I'm not like you. We're similar in certain ways. We're equal. Nobody's better than the other one. It's not like I'm better than you or nothing. Yeah. We're equal, but we are different. We're built differently. A woman is built differently than a man. Right. And that's a beautiful thing to me. That's not like a diss. Yeah, it's supposed to be that way. We the only people, or we're the only creatures on this earth that question our roles in nature, right? Like if a fish is not going to be, swimming around looking up at the birds and being like, you know what, I can do anything a bird can do and better. You're a fish, and that's great. Like you're supposed to be a fish, and there's nothing wrong with that. That don't mean that you can't try to do other things, but at the end of the day, like, we are who we are, and that's a beautiful thing. Yeah. So nobody's trying to box you into a corner and saying that you can't, play basketball with dudes, or you can't, lift weights, or you can do anything you want to do. Mm-hmm. But, everybody has their things that we're just genetically, maybe better at or meant to do. Mm-hmm. And that's a beautiful thing. We can't bear children no matter what we want to do. Nope. We're not. You ever seen a man try to be a nurturer to a kid? Like,
like what's wrong? I got you ready to throw them across the room. Mom, right? Your grandbaby crying. What do I do?
Right. That's why everybody go to their mama when they got problems, because nobody cares what.
I haven't did that yet. Thank goodness. Really? I haven't did that yet.
No, but that's beautiful. Like that's what it's supposed to be. So. That's just how I feel on that.
Yeah, and it's not a competition. See, especially in the Black community, Black women and men, like we compare checks. We compare struggles, and that don't make any sense. It'll be nice if it's just like, look, we're in this together. We're going to do this. But honestly, I need you to step up out of the way and let me do me. Ty Lue told LeBron, shut the F up. I got this. Yeah. And sometimes it gets like that. Like, nothing is wrong with, I don't want to say overseeing, but nothing is wrong with checking up on your man here and there. But that just means there's a lack of trust. And especially in the Black community, there's not too many Black women that trust Black men like that. That's why we have the submission issue here. Everybody grandma submitted to grandfather. They did. It's just all of a sudden when the boomers, they had kids, boomers were around and they had kids. Now look where we are. Like you said, you had the feminist movement where I can do anything a man can do. But the thing is, man didn't ask for the competition. But now we have the problem is, in order to compete with a man, you gotta what? You gotta be a man. You have to fight fire with fire. So our masculine energy, you have to try to match that. Yeah. And it's not looking good. So Jeannie Mai mentioned in her segment that her mom was kind of had an edgy masculine tone to her. So she would kind of smoke the dad out, and she did not want to be like her mom. And there's nothing like that. And let's keep it real. A lot of these other women that said that they ain't down with that, whatever, their dad wasn't even around. So yeah, how else are you supposed to see a role model of a true husband? Yeah. We're not even gonna go into fatherhood. We're just talking about just being a husband. Period. Just like we're married, and so what ends up happening is they will bring something to my attention, and I'll be like, okay, but we don't always agree. But then that's like, we could go ahead and roll with this one, like picking the color of our house, picking what type of fabric, not fabric, but what to put on the roof, asphalt, granite, whatever. We make those type of decisions together. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, who has to make the phone call to Sears or Home Depot? Yeah. Because y'all don't like being on the phone with customer service and talking to people and y'all don't like doing all of that. Let's keep it real. That's why Jeannie Mai says she's tired. Like, I'm gonna let Jeezy lead and do all this hard, heavy lifting and all this, because most women don't want to think, they want to kick it. You guys want to be the housewife. If y'all could switch places with Kim Kardashian, you would, because I don't know what Kim doing. She don't look like she's doing anything. But let's just keep it real. You know what I mean? Like, y'all kind of just really want us to lead, because you guys are mad at the man that don't do anything. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, I'm with you.
My opinion.
Man, all right, that was good stuff, man. So shout out to Jeannie Mai for holding her man down. Shout out to Jeezy for lifting his woman up.
Yeah, Jeezy, you better come with it. You got a real one, Jeezy, so you better
for sure
hold on to that one.
But shout out to all of the fans out there who understand the difference. Anyway, man, this has been a good one. Thank you everybody for checking us out. This again is the CO2 Carbon Ops Rawcast. Appreciate you guys.
How can they reach you? How can they find you, bro?
Man, check me out at Diggy City on Instagram and on Twitter. And what about you?
And you can find me on IG, Good Evening Mr. Black. And you can find me on Twitter, Evening Mr. Black. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Just look up Carbon Op Rawcast. Follow us on IG at CO2 Rawcast, baby.
Awesome. And if you're checking us out on YouTube, please feel free, and we would love for you to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share in the comments what you think about it, what you want to see from us next time, and we'll probably do that because we are whores for attention. Anyway,
the hell? I don't know. I'm tired. This has been a long day, and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next time. This is CO2. Check you out next time. Peace. Flip side. We out.